From everything that I've been through, all the losses, all the wins, everything, it's made me so resilient. From enjoy the title or take the time with their family and stuff, but no, I am hungry. And I'm like, I want to make history. And
like, who would you say was like the most likely to win?
I would say
besides you.
I would say me.
Like,
I just believe in myself, and that it just has to happen. I just think that it's just about me peaking. So I would say no one's where I'm worried about anybody. If I'm on point, I'm on point, and then I win, and I'm confident, and that's all I need to worry about.
Is there things that you did that you regret?
I would say the biggest thing would be to
thank everyone who's on this channel, who is supporting. These times are really tough when I lost 2 accounts. So it is even more crucial for me to be able to sustain this, sending you to my link tree in order to order with my discount codes and support and subscribe to this channel and tell all your friends about it. It's very crucial to me and to the existence of this channel. Thank you so much. Well, new episode of the Overcome podcast, and I have Aimee Delgado here, who just won the Arnold Classic. I think you got second too at the Olympia one year, right?
No,
Third?
I got my highest placing at the Olympia was 4th, which was last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was like always like she's knocking on the door, but
Well, at the Arnolds, I got second place 2 years in a row before just winning. So that's probably what you're talking about.
That was the second places, yeah. And when I saw you first, it was, you probably don't remember, it was in the elevator at the New York Pro where you were like crazy sick.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and you won that New York Pro, and then you held a speech like, man, I got through it. Like
that was hard. I remember I didn't make it to check-ins. I didn't even know I was gonna go on stage. Yeah, that was hard, but that was cool as heck that we won that show. That was cool.
What did you shut it down after that one?
Yeah. Right after that one, I shut it down. But I only usually focus on the bigger shows. But I do smaller shows in between my breaks just to refine my physique, refine my peaks, try different things, try new things, and really just explore and learn more. So yeah.
Would you want to try something like Ashley and be like, come on, I'll just win everything now?
Well, that's what I was doing last year. I feel like I did 5 shows in a row.
Oh, yeah.
Last year after the Olympia, I ran 5 shows in a matter of 5 weeks in a row. I hit 4 shows in like back to back. And 2 of those shows I went to Spain. So it was for me, it's not about stacking up wins. It's more about learning and refining things, because when things happen and you work through them, then when they happen again at a bigger scale, on a bigger stage, you know how to handle it and you have that experience. And now, like, I kid you not, anything that comes my way, that comes on my physique, whether it's bloating, digestive issues, a period, or anything, sickness, we know exactly what to do. And I'm never worried, I'm not stressed because of those peaks.
Yeah, prepared.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty clever. I mean, there's a lot of people start doing these test shows too, when they're like, I think Samson won the Olympia, and it was the one time where he did a show before. Mm-hmm. It was like, okay, we have to refine this, and then he won it. So it's always good to make more shows. I'm like, a lot of people, they keep waiting and waiting. I'm like, if you do your first show, you're going to make some mistakes. So you're never going to be ready. So let's do it. Do it one time and see how it is and everything. Because some people, like, I have a friend, like, I met him in 2020, and he was ready to compete. He still hasn't competed.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah, 2026. I'm like, dude, what's going on?
Just like, waiting for that perfect moment.
Yeah,
There's
never
like,
going to be that moment. I need a little bit bigger. I need a little this. Just get on stage, you know?
Yeah. You know, I believe I am the first athlete to compete after winning an Arnold's title that isn't an Olympia. I competed in Pittsburgh. I continue to compete in Miami, the Miami show. And when normally those girls would just stop to either just take the time to enjoy the title or take the time with their family and stuff, but no, I am hungry, and I'm like, I want to make history, and that's my goal, is to, you know, become that 4-time Pittsburgh. But we didn't make that happen, but then we went to Miami and we took it there, you know. So kind of like a redemption story, but it's been a journey, and I'm just always trying to push myself further and further.
But I think you won New York 3 times, right?
Yeah. And
Okay, I got that one. I got that.
And Pittsburgh,
Yeah. In Pittsburgh is now for the second time at this huge show. But I was also thinking when you're saying, going to Spain, I'm like, you probably win $3,000, and the flight, if you don't go alone, is already $3,000.
Yeah, and I don't think I've done a show without my husband. No.
Yeah. See, oh my God, then it's really expensive.
Yeah.
Or like, do you get some support from the sponsors for some shows, or?
Yes, I do. I have Global Formulas is one of my main sponsors. They're my closest sponsor. They're like family to me. Dark Sport is also one of my sponsors. They definitely help out with some travel and things like that. Yeah.
That's cool. I heard for some people, Dark Sport even like they pay bonuses. I think Terrence told me when he wins a show,
and it's not in per athlete contract. It's across the board. If you're an athlete of Dark Sport, if you win a show, you get paid a good bonus, a really good bonus, and then the bigger shows it stacks up even more.
So then at least the Spain thing is worth it.
Yeah.
Because I'm you go to Spain, you win. Like if you don't have anyone chiming in, you lose. Like at least money.
Spain was so hard because I've never traveled internationally before in my life, and then I never traveled for a show like that internationally. It was my first time peaking without my coach in person. Thank God I had my husband because he was that main person. That
he sits there, by the way.
Yeah, he's right over there. But he's the one who really helped me and my coach really just make things happen because I was holding a ton of water, couldn't hold anything down. Digestive was not working, like my, your circadian rhythm clock, whatever. Yeah. Mine was completely flip-flops about 9 hours. So I'm a little bit nervous going to Korea. I leave on Sunday, but I'm not going to be competing. So I'm not going to have all those worries. So I think it's just more of the mindset for me getting to travel to Korea and enjoy myself rather, because when I went to Spain, I was so in my head because I was like, I've never done this before. I've never been without my coach. I've never traveled abroad. I've never done these things. So I was very stressed, and I put that pressure and stress on myself. And I was like so worried about if I was even going to win those shows. So going to Korea, I just want to learn how I can manage that, but without the competing side, and really just level up on that aspect.
Yeah, when I go to Germany, it was the same. The first time I went after 5 years, I was like, it was terrible.
Yeah.
Like I slept like 4 hours or something, and it definitely changes your look, especially when you're like so low in body fat and everything. So, but for the people that don't know you, we just like jumped in a little bit.
Yeah.
You started working out really like in 2020-ish or something? How did it start?
I stepped foot in the gym February of 2020, or no, I would say November of 2019, and then I stepped on stage for the first time February of 2020. Yes, that's the time.
What?
Yeah.
3 months?
Yeah, 3 months. I did 3 month prep, but I was basically like, I was probably emaciated, very, very lean. I didn't eat much food. I didn't have any muscle. I was literally skin and bones. Like it was pretty embarrassing when I see myself back then, just because I was just like, I was embarrassed to eat a lot. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like just to not eat very much. So, and it was hard for me to gain weight. So like, it was a very challenging doing the bodybuilding because it was hard for me to gain weight. That's always been my problem, is gaining weight. I have a very fast metabolism, so that prep was very easy in that way because it's my first time dieting and my first time, getting on stage, but the building, that was the most challenging part of all of it.
How much do you have to eat?
In shows, I eat about 600 to 700 grams of carbs and about 90 fat, and I keep protein a little bit lower, but yeah, I eat a lot.
When you're off season, that's how much you eat?
Oh no, in off season I'm at right now I'm at 400 carb and 70 fat right now with no cardio, and steps are at 6K.
Okay, let me think. 400, that's 1,670 fat, you said?
Yeah.
79, that's 2,230?
I don't know.
2,230?
I never count I never track
and
my
how
calories.
much protein?
My body weight plus a little, like 10 grams. So I would say 130 in protein. Yeah. Okay,
that's another 500-ish, 600-ish almost. It's 2,700 calories. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for us, for me, that's not much, but it's not little. It's not little. I mean,
No.
What are you weighing?
Right now I'm 116.8 this morning.
Whoa, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My stage weight is
heavier.
112.
Yeah.
112,
Wow.
114.
Yeah, then that's a lot for that body weight. That's really a lot. Yeah, and so you started in 2020, and I think I just read in 23 you turned pro.
No, so I did my first show February 2020, and then I was like, I freaking love this. I switched coaches and I got with Fit Body Fusion, and that's whenever like my career started just like going up and up. I switched coaches, got with Fit Body Fusion, and then I did my first actual like just regional show where I was actually like, you know, present and knowing what was going on. I won that class, and then my coach took me to nationals. I got 5th at my first national show. Didn't do well as far as like the hair, makeup, tan look was not well. Went to USA's I think 3 weeks later, and then I won the overall there. And so I got my pro card December of 2020.
Man, your website is off.
My website?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Because I was on your website.
Probably.
I'm like, there's not many titles on there. Like, I'm like, dude, there's just, and it says
we
turning
probably
pro
just-
in 23. It was like,
Oh,
yeah.
Probably because he only did my started my like stats probably when I started winning shows.
Yeah,
But I won my first pro show, which was the Tampa Pro in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how because I watched the Cutler podcast, and I'm like, but if it says on the website, like I kind of have some different. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, no worries. No,
Yeah.
it's
yeah.
being updated nonstop.
What did bodybuilding for you? Like you said, like all of a sudden you loved it. I know from the Cutler cast that you like your first coach kind of prepped you in secret, so you weren't even thinking about it.
And that's why I felt like it was a little bit easier than the other preps, just because you're not like I wasn't in my head.
Yeah.
So that helped me not feel stressed about it or get in my head about or look at other girls or really freak out about anything. So it helped a lot.
But what does bodybuilding for you in your life? Did it like turn something around? Could you like put some energy from somewhere else into it? And how did it change your life? Like, what did you do for a living before?
Oh gosh, so I was a full-time nurse. I was in nursing school full-time, and I was working as a nurse. When I moved to Las Vegas, we moved here because my husband's parents moved here, and we didn't have family in San Diego, so we followed them here to Vegas. And I had to redo some classes, so I quit my job, became a stay-at-home mom, did some classes here through college. And I really, really struggled in school. Like, really struggled with communication, how I think, and all those things. And I'm currently going through diagnosis of ADHD right now, or ADD. So, yeah, this goes back years. But basically, I fell into a very, very deep depression. Before all of this, I was very deep, heavily into alcohol before I met my husband, because of the trauma and the stuff that I've gone through my childhood. I was really just following the path that my family is, kind of like just what we're meant to do and be like, So I kind of am that unicorn in the family where I just kind of branched off and did something completely different. But I feel like God was the one who just put everything in my lap, and what he was like, what are you going to do with this type of thing? Like everything just started coming to me. And then, so I got very, very depressed. I needed help. I ended up getting on sertraline medication, got off of it after, I would say about 8 months into my bodybuilding journey. That's when I finally felt like I was recovering, because bodybuilding, it felt like it saved me. So things were a struggle bus in the beginning, all the way from the start. But finding bodybuilding really pulled me out of all of that. It really pulled me out of suffering, finding ways to suffer because of what I was feeling inside. And bodybuilding, you do suffer, but in a much healthier, much positive way. So I just took that cardio, and I just made it my I took the dieting and I went hard with it, and I just said I want to do all these shows, and every time I felt starving or hungry, I felt that was me suffering type of thing. So I really focused so much my pain into bodybuilding, And I feel like that's what drove me and really taught me a lot about how far I can go and how good I was. Because when it comes to my thinking, I really feel like I'm not like, it's hard for me to think properly. So when it comes to my body, I'm so confident that it can do what it needs to do, you know? So bodybuilding, I just took it and ran with it, and it became my life.
Do you think it is your past that makes it way easier for you to suffer? Because a lot of, people are complaining.
Yes. It also, I feel like it's made me so resilient from everything that I've been through, all the losses, all the wins, everything. It's almost like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just, it's hard. It's all hard, but at the end of the day, it's given me so much. And I don't know, I would probably, I don't know where I would be without it. Like, probably be on alcohol or something, So I don't know, but it helps, yeah.
Yeah, it's also nice when you suffer, and sometimes you're like, you don't see why, you don't have a reward, and now you have a suffering that actually leads to something greater, and not just suffering and you're like, this makes no sense, it just makes me feel bad.
Yeah.
So now having a good outcome for that makes you obviously embrace it, and probably you have a big amount of gratitude for your life, which other people can't even have.
Yeah. And I would say the last 2 years, I'm no longer suffering in that way, as far as putting myself in that kind of mindset and position with the bodybuilding stuff. I've really separated myself from it. My pain and my success and everything with preps and bodybuilding. So it's helped a lot, but I really feel like it's because my family is changing. Like, my mom moved out here to Vegas, my other brother, and I'm seeing my family change completely, their lives. And so I'm not going to say it's because of me, but I'm just being that person that's, supporting everybody and really pushing everybody, like, you can do this, and where we come from is not where we're going to end up.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people that have really bad upbringings or circumstances, they oftentimes also just get told, oh, you have no chance. And the more you think that, the more likely it's going to happen. But then when your sister came up just like you and she's gotten out, you were like, well, it's obviously possible. So that's kind of cool. Where do you feel that God interfered, like pulled you out, or did you have like a moment?
Yeah, last year I had a moment with God. I was going to church actively. My husband and my daughter, they read the Bible, here and there. And I'm involved with it, but I didn't.
Major announcement, guys. The Peptide Encyclopedia is now to download. Check out the link in the description or the pinned comment, or go on my link tree. And the Anabolic Handbook is also available. All the compounds from A to Z broken down into benefits, downsides, administration, and so on. One favor I got to ask you, though, if you could subscribe to this channel to help it grow, to get the highest caliber people on this podcast, that would be amazing. Thank you so much. Now on with the episode. Go ahead, also check out my third book, Signs of Aging. It is about understanding and really implying what you can do in order to age better and improve your health span. Check it in the link tree now. In over a decade of coaching, what I learned is you have to be able to ask the right questions and then know the proper answers. That's what I do best. If you want to find out more, get one of my 2 books I wrote on training, endocrinology, peptides. Sign up if you want to join my coaching. Links in the description below, or just message me on Instagram.
I feel like I was called, or I didn't feel connected to it, right? Until one day I went to church and I was standing there, like, I wasn't there to, sometimes you go to church and you kind of are seeking for something, but I was it's just another day for me, honoring God and everything. And so I went, and I was sitting at the very, very back at the top, and I was just like, listening to the music, vibing. And then all of a sudden I felt such strong emotions that I could not control. And I started bawling, like uncontrollably bawling. And I did not understand. I was really trying to stop. And where people were turning and looking at me, and I was really embarrassed, like, what's going on? Like, oh my gosh. And I knew it was the Holy Spirit. I knew it was God. He was calling me, and calling me just to bring him in my life, and for me to follow him, and for me to change. And ever since I brought him in my life, everything has changed even more into a more positive with my mindset, and that's also helped so much too.
How do you practice? Do you have like a schedule? Do you pray before every meal, or is there some kind of like schedule you have?
Yeah. So this is something that I'm still kind of struggling with, because I'm so rooted into God, and my daughter and everything, that every morning when I do remember, and like I said, my brain with my thinking right now, I'm going through a process of my diagnosing, but like when I remember things, and I always beat myself about this, but I try to bring God in everything that I do. So if I'm going into my lifts, but if I remember, like I always have to I have a reminder in my phone where it sets off, and if I don't check it off, it's like it's called Tick Tick. It's like an app. If I don't check it off, it'll keep annoying me. But it's helped with things on prep and for the stuff I need to do with my mindset. But I like to just, every time I go into something new, I bring him there with me, and I talk to him, and I just say that this is going to be a good lift. This is going to be, because you're going to make me so strong, and I have you with me, but at the same time, he's always with me. He's my best friend, he's always by my side. So yeah. But backstage, I want to do more things. Like I started doing some rituals backstage. One time I brought a cross backstage, but I just want to do something. I'm gonna figure it out what's gonna really ground me backstage, but I'm still figuring that out, what I should do.
Yeah, I'm trying to, before I do anything, while I have breakfast, I always read in the Bible, and I always have a marker. So I always try to mark everything that was important. I go to 2 Bible studies too, and I had the same thing, and I'm like a little disappointed it's not happening that much anymore. It happened so many times that like during worship, I started like crying, like,
yeah,
good God, like I'm crying like crazy, but I was not like making any sounds. But I feel like no one even saw it, like they're all so into it, like,
yeah, because the music is so loud, you know what I mean? It's so loud.
Yeah.
It is pretty loud, but no, it's, yeah, Jesus, giving him a chance, it'll change your life. So everyone listening, please give Jesus a chance in your life, because he will change it.
Yeah, 100%. Even just living by the morals, it will have a better outcome.
Yes.
It's just like, people always think, I had this talk yesterday, people always think when you live egocentric and selfishly, it's going to have a better outcome for you. And it's like, you don't even know if you, the more you live and do for others, like out of like actual good intent, obviously, because you believe in it, the better your life will be.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't think about yourself, you probably serve yourself even better.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. And you also see that, like, people that are really Christian, they're also happy. They're also nice.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's like they're happy. So
what it is to live like a Christian, it's so positive. So many great things, which I don't know why a lot of people aren't living by it. It's kind of crazy.
But you didn't grow up that way, right?
No, I didn't know about God. I knew about who he was, and he created the earth, but I did not know the story. I barely knew the Moses story because I watched the movies and stuff, but I am like so diving into everything and really, really learning. I just finished watching The Chosen.
Have you watched
it?
Yeah.
It's such a, oh my gosh.
I
watched it twice already. Yeah,
my wife has actually, you should talk to her, because she has all these things like neurosensitivity, and I read books before, like when I met her, to understand her. I read a few books.
Oh, okay,
to understand her
good
sensitivities and all that. So you should talk to her.
Okay.
And she's like, oftentimes she doesn't want to watch stuff. So we were very slow, but we're almost done.
Okay,
but it's
okay.
like, it's dragging a little bit.
Oh, yeah. No, I'll watch like 3 episodes a day. When I first got into it, I was like, because I didn't hear about it for all these years. So there are so many seasons. So I all throughout my entire Arnold's prep, I was watching that.
Yeah.
And then the new one comes out in September.
Oh.
Yeah, the new season will come out in September.
Oh, so it does what's that, like after the resurrection? Or like?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be because he hasn't got resurrected yet, or he hasn't been crucified yet.
Oh, he wasn't crucified. I'm like in episode I'm season 5, 3 or so.
Yeah, well, it tells the whole story eventually,
yeah.
But like the seasons will tell parts and as it goes on. But the last season that's ending, it gives so much info, and it gives you exactly how he lived, what he did while he was on Earth, and everything. It was so freaking cool.
Yeah. So the important things and what he says when he preaches and stuff, that's all accurate. But obviously, there's like when Peter talks to Simon in private, obviously that's kind of like made up.
Yeah,
right?
some of the stuff,
But it's
cool
story
to see who
line,
they were, to see who the people were, why he chose these people, because they were all imperfect people, which is exactly who we all are. So it was really cool. So I'm really looking forward to that next season, because that's going to set me up for my Olympia prep.
I bet they're going to also come up with Paul going, like, his story is so crazy, being like the persecutor number 1 of Christians, overseeing their killings, and then Jesus comes, blinds him, and then unblinds him, and then tells him like to go and spread the message, and like the guy who like hated Christians goes out, becomes Christian number 1. I think that would make a crazy show.
Wow. See, there's so much I haven't learned yet.
Yeah,
there's so much.
I bet they're going to do that. I mean, he went through all the world and all the things like in the Bible, like Romans, Ephesians. Those are letters to the Roman church and to the, oh my God, what's the town's name? The name. The Ephesians come from. I don't want to say Ephesia. I don't know what the what the name is. But yeah, so he writes all these letters, and it's crazy when you look on a map where he all went back then with how they traveled. I'm like, good God, like he was just on the road. Yeah,
never lived in one place.
But that's gonna be fun. So you have probably a lot more. I bet they're working on it. Yeah. Because like, how can you not if that was such a success, The Chosen? Yeah. Yeah, that actor is gonna be famous.
Yeah, he is.
His
name's Jonathan Rumi or something.
Yeah.
I follow him.
Yeah, he's like has these Bible app too. Have you tried that? I've never tried
the Bible app.
No, it's a prayer app.
Oh, prayer app? No.
Okay, sponsor us, Hollow Prayer app. I've never tried it. Yeah, there's this prayer app. I don't know.
That's cool.
Yeah, I guess some people they're like, is there a right way to pray? Is there a wrong way to pray? You know,
I feel the same. When I first started, everything feels so like you don't know what you're doing. But that's the same with bodybuilding. You don't know what the hell you're doing, and you just figure it out the more you go. So,
how did you like? Just get back to bodybuilding. How did you figure out or think about training? Do you have a certain philosophy, like a system when you like, especially when you want to put on muscle because you were so skinny you had to put on muscle. Yeah. So how were you training there?
I blew up so quickly with my muscle. So I got with Jamie. I was 109 pounds I was 109 pounds when I first got with Jamie DeBernard. She's the GOAT of Bikini, guys. So when I got with her, she told me I needed about 8 months to a year off season, and my jaw just dropped, and I was like, ugh, it just hurt, and everybody, you know how it feels. It hurts to not be on stage. So she told me that, and I was like, watch, I'm going to show you. And I had that attitude, that power of that drive, that attitude. And I did. She pulled me out of prep, and 3 months, I gained 20 pounds of muscle in 3 months. She put me on stage at the Patriots Challenge. I told her, I want to get on stage, not conditioned, not fully ready, but halfway through my prep, I want to get on stage and make sure I have enough muscle, because if I don't, I actually want to go back into off season and then because I was building so quickly. She's like, okay, let's get you on stage.
So how much earlier did you compete then?
So I got with Jamie within 3 months. she pulled me out of prep, and then I dieted for about 6
Out of
weeks.
off-season.
Out of off-season. And then I dieted for about 4 to 6 weeks, but I was still like 9 pounds over stage weight. But I told her, get me on stage. So I went to Patriots Challenge. That was my first pro show, but no one really knows it. But my first pro show, I got 16th place. But that was because I was 9 pounds over. Yeah. But I stacked up to those girls really, really well. Yeah. So Tarek was the head judge, and he goes, you need to peel off this body fat and come back and get right on stage because you're going to be competitive. So I was like, say no more. I left, I went back, and I won my pro show. I got first at the Tampa Pro. And then I went to the next show at Pacific USA's, got first there. Went to Nashville and got second place there. And then I shut it down, and then I went to the Olympia, and then I got 6th in my first Olympia.
So the Tampa that you won was another 6 weeks after the Pacific?
No, Tampa was in August. Pacific USA's was right after, so it was like 2 weeks after or a week after.
Oh, so in 2 weeks you peeled off enough to win?
Oh, no. So I went, okay, so after Patriots Challenge, when I was 9 pounds over, I dieted, I don't know, for about maybe 6 more weeks or maybe 5 more weeks. And then I went to the Tampa Pro, and that's when I won.
Okay.
So
I just wanted to calculate. So
yeah,
you needed kind of like 6 months. And she said 8 to 10 months off season.
Yeah.
Plus prep would have been probably a year. Yeah. So you did in half the time.
Yeah. Yes.
Pretty good.
Yeah. And we got 6th at our first Olympia. And then after that, that was whenever I didn't lose a show after that.
And then it was more into refining, not like you did like bulk or like.
We just needed to, no, I never went into off season since. I've never been off stage longer than 3 months. Ooh. Ever. In the last 3 years.
How many pounds do you go up then?
Only 8 pounds.
8 pounds.
Yeah. Right now I'm about 5 to 6 pounds post show right now.
And what are you working on in those 3 months? Like you still want to like change something, improve something a little bit.
Are you talking about from back then or now?
No, right now.
Right now, I don't change.
Probably everything back then.
Yeah. Everything was just about growing in between shows as much as I can push the muscle, right? But now I'm where I need to be. So now it's about focusing on recovery, keeping my health in line, which is just sleeping well, keeping my stress low. Recovery, I don't do cardio in off season. I never have. My steps are usually around 6 to 7K. I have to manage keeping them low because if I don't, I have to eat more and I don't want to eat more. So I'm like 6 pounds from stage weight. And I'm just maintaining my muscle, maintaining the look, not going too far one way, not going too far the other way. And my husband trains me, so he makes sure I'm in the gym and he pushes me.
And what did the judges say? What should you improve on?
Nothing.
They didn't say anything?
They said that bring this look to the Olympia. Yeah.
I mean, okay, the last one was pretty good, so what can they say?
The last 2. Yeah. They said, even Pittsburgh, they did want me a little bit tighter.
Okay, so Pittsburgh, they said you weren't.
But I was on my period for Pittsburgh.
But Pittsburgh is, I mean, if it's close and they're like, I actually have to tell her something. You know what I mean?
Well, I was off though.
Okay.
I was not off, I would say. My physique was on point. It looked great, fitting the criteria to a T. But compared to how I normally look, I look way better when I'm a little bit tighter. It's like just a different look, but I still nailed it. I still looked phenomenal, and I still could have won the show. But it's just Laura Lee was a little bit better that day, and I was struggling a lot that week.
And then you went on and did Miami?
Yeah.
And won that?
Yeah.
Didn't you win against Laura Lee?
Yeah, so the week of Pittsburgh.
A rematch or something?
Yeah, so the week of Pittsburgh, I got a call from my family. Like I said, what we go through. This is kind of the stuff that we go through. My sister had, her ex-husband had he went and took her boyfriend's life and then took his own life in front of my sister. And it was just really, really hard.
Oh my God.
And that was the week of, Pittsburgh. And so I was dealing with a lot. My sister, we're still going through a lot. My family is.
Where's your sister now?
She's back home.
Is she with
where
someone?
she lives. No, she's you know.
No, I mean
her
like
kids. She has her kids. Her
okay,
three. My
kids.
Yeah. Her
so
three.
someone around her. That's what I mean. Like someone.
Oh yes,
mentally,
She
like,
has.
you know,
She has her best friend.
Not allowed in her
all of
apartment.
We've been
you know,
taking turns.
Okay,
yeah. We've been taking turns being with her and everything, and she's doing really, really well. She has to do well for the kids. You know, they just lost their dad and whatnot. So it was really heavy week for us. I was crying nonstop, but at the same time, I truly feel like it didn't affect me in my physique too much because I didn't have stress. It was more of like I was stuck in a parasympathetic mode because I was so down and just kind of like, you know. But at the same time, I gave it my all. I showed up. I looked amazing. And then, but I lost. We lost. The panel went with Laura Lee that day. And then on the way home, of course, we're not feeling our best. We're kind of down, like, damn, we just lost. But then we got a phone call. Jamie got a phone call, and we got word of things happening here and there saying that, like, you know, we think Laura Lee's going to do the show. And I was like, okay, well, I definitely want to get compared next to her again. She's one of the best athletes in the world, and she's a Miss Olympia. So I was like, I would be an opportunity to get compared again. So I entered that show, and we were right. She did apply for the show as well, and so we went up again head to head, and we did get the success out of that show. Yeah, that's
really good because before we started this podcast in the living room, we were talking about momentum.
Yeah,
and now it's on your side because you have the last win. That's pretty important going to Olympia, like
with confidence and your mindset. Yeah. I mean, but she's a Miss Olympia winner. You know what I mean? Like, you know, she knows what she's doing. But yeah, it definitely does help.
Yeah. Do you think she's the biggest threat then to win this year, or you think Maureen could win again, or like who would you say is like the most likely to win?
I would say
besides you.
I would say me.
Like as your number one competitor.
I want to win.
I think so too because.
Honestly, with what I'm bringing, and my confidence and just like I just believe in myself. I truly believe in myself that I can be the best in the world, and that it just has to happen. You know, I just think that it's just about me peaking. So I would say no one's like if I'm on point. I believe that it shouldn't be like where I'm worried about anybody. If I'm on point, and then I could win, and I'm confident, and that's all I need to worry about is if I'm on point. And so, yeah, that's it. I don't feel like anybody in particular because it could be Laura Lee, it could be Maureen, it could be Ashley, you know, it could be other athletes, but it just really focused, you know, what I bring and what I.
Yeah. So you just. But
I have that confidence.
As long as you're at 100%, you're gonna win. It's just like a question of can you do that? Can I
do it on that day?
You don't need anyone else to slip or so.
Yeah, for the most part. But at the same time, it's a panel. It's a panel of judges, and there's so many judges that are on different panels. So like I don't know, even if I am 100%, it could still not go my way.
Actually, have the Olympia judges in the last 4 or 5 years changed, or is it the same exact judges?
I don't know. I don't know.
That would be kind of interesting. I know. That would be hard to answer. I just know from the top 2 men guys. I always know them.
Yeah, because they're on the mic. It's easy to know that Tyler is always the head judge there. So Tyler, Sandy are the main ones, I would say. But there's a huge panel. There's so many of them. You know.
Didn't Steve did the call outs in Classic? And then I have to rewatch.
I don't watch. I don't. You know what? I don't go.
But Tyler does your call outs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he's a head judge. Interesting. But this. Oh my God, Sandy, right?
Yes.
She's always like. Everyone's like, oh, you got to go to Sandy. You got to ask Sandy. So she's
Jimmy's great.
Kind of like the expert in the division, tells you who's good and not.
Yeah.
But she's not the head judge in the bikini.
Some shows she is. Yes.
No, but in the Olympia, Tyler is the bikini head judge.
I believe so. Or they might be together.
Maybe.
You know? Yeah. It might be both of them.
Co-head judging. You know what I thought? And I wonder what your opinion is. I thought the judges should not talk to each other.
What? Really?
Because they're going to make up their minds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they just judge what they see, and then after they look at it, and not be like, oh, I think she's good, I think she's good, and like everyone's gonna write down the same, right?
That's interesting. That is interesting. I've never thought about that.
I think it should be kind of a rule, but how are you gonna do that? You can mask them. You can give them mute masks.
That would be cool.
But I think, I wonder if that would make it change, because I mean, you've been on stage, I've been on stage a lot of times, you always see them talking.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
you never know what's going on.
Why do you have to talk? Like, you see what you see. You shouldn't have to talk.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like, what should I write down?
I feel like one thing I can say is that I feel like everybody sees different things.
Yeah.
Everybody's eyes develop differently, and some judges may have been there longer, where some are maybe newer. Because I can see something on a physique where I can tell XYZ person, like, hey, this is what I see, and then they're like, I don't see anything of what you're seeing, but they're still a coach. So it's just like, I feel like different eyes will see different things. And when you point it out, then they're like, oh, I do see it, you know? Mm-hmm. So maybe it might be something like that, where different eyes of expertise are good more with conditioning. Some judges are good for fullness, and, you know, maybe that's how they do it. I really don't know.
Yeah. But it's also like, I don't understand how they can, I mean, in an amateur show, it's oftentimes easy because they're not as close to each other. But in a pro show, or especially at the Olympia, when they have 7 or 8 people call outs, I'm like, you're going through the poses so fast. Like, especially in bodybuilding. In bikini, it's just like, it's just kind of like 2 poses.
Yeah.
So it might not be as hard, you know, you can turn them around a few times. It's not going to take forever. But if you have 8 poses, and it's like, come on, you didn't see the guy on the outside left. You can't tell me you actually saw everyone.
No, it's true.
If it's not close, you kind of go over, scan a little bit, you see it right away. Like, this guy, you see the conditioning difference right away. You can already say, okay, like, out.
Yeah.
But I'm like, sometimes like, whoa. And, you know, sometimes you're in those calls and you're like, man, I didn't get a fair look. So that's sometimes a little tough. I'm like, maybe.
Do you feel like it depends on what show you go to? Because, like I said, each show has different panels, and then each show has levels of panels. Yeah. You know.
I think a lot of European judges are really bad. I think in the States are not, but in the European shows, I remember there was one show. Mm-hmm. I even heard that Tyler called in because it was so badly judged, and then in the finals they switched around everything. Like, the last call out was the first call out.
I didn't hear about that.
They had the worst people in the first call out.
Oh no.
And then people in the first call out got like that last.
Oh no.
It was so bad.
Well, things are different overseas with conditioning, but that's why I'm saying, like, when I go to Korea this time, I'm really gonna be like, hey, Aimee, like, this is not a big deal. Like, you can do this and compete, and just don't get in your head, and I'm kind of using it for that too. Because I want to compete internationally. Like, I want to compete in the States more, but, like, I want to compete internationally and just go everywhere and just have fun. I want to be an athlete, do interviews.
Thank everyone who's on this channel, who is supporting. These times are really tough when I lost 2 accounts. So it is even more crucial for me to be able to sustain this, sending you to my link tree in order to order with my discount codes, so the commissions can fund this channel, because it is a full-time job. Everything that I recommend you can get on there, gas clothing like this. So please support and subscribe to this channel and tell all your friends about it. It's very crucial to me and to the existence of this channel. Thank you so much. Big surprise, guys. I'm now with Gasp. The clothing is very cool. Everyone who's deep into bodybuilding knows GASP stands for bodybuilding. If that's where you want to spend your money on, then use my code and have a good conscience doing so. Have a good one, guys.
Go do appearances and go everywhere. So you guys won't see me doing much shows here in the US after the Olympia, but overseas, yes, definitely.
Would you then also plan to stay maybe an extra day to look at the place you're at?
In Korea?
Wherever you're going to compete, like when you compete
You
internationally.
can say a couple
let's
say travel and have fun.
Let's say go whatever, some cool place.
Yeah.
Because the days before,
You can't do nothing.
You might not want to be like, oh, I'm going to go sightseeing. So
I do nothing.
Yeah,
if I am doing a show, if anything tries to take me away from my focus, it's not happening.
Yeah.
I do not allow anything. And even sponsors, like I'm very strict with certain things, so my sponsors know and everything, but I show up for them, but anything else, I don't let anything get in the way. I don't care about anything. We went somewhere, I forgot where it was, Washington, D.C. He was like, babe, come with me and go look at the White House. I was like, I am not here for the White House. I am here to compete. I'm not going to go. And everything. He was like, it's so cool and everything. But I'm just so, it's business. It's business for me, and I don't play.
Do they have tours at the White House? I don't know. Probably not too much.
He just drove by.
I bet sometimes, but it could be very expensive. I wonder. So you plan on staying extra days then when you go internationally to see something, or?
Yeah, when we went to Spain and competed, we stayed an extra 4 days after. Yeah, because we went for 2 weeks. I did 2 shows back to back there. Yeah. I did the Spanish Grand Prix one weekend, and then the next weekend I went to Big Man. If
you're in Europe, you should go to some churches.
We did. We didn't go to any services because of we didn't know where to go or anything.
You won't understand anything anyways.
That too, but he speaks Spanish fluently, so he could speak it. And Spain was very, very easy for us to get around, but they had some crazy churches that you don't even know what they are. What religion is this?
Italy.
Yeah, it's really cool.
They have, and if you're in Turin, Torino, there's the Shroud of Turin, what was over Jesus. I would want to go there.
Where is that at?
I don't know if there's a show, but it's a city in Italy, pretty big one. I don't think there's a show, but there could be some close.
Okay.
I mean, Italy, for us, that's no distance.
Yeah.
For us Americans, when I was in Germany, I'm like, you're so far away, and now I'm like, you live next door, basically. Looking back, so because it's so small, Germany's as big as California.
Dang.
So.
Dang, yeah. I see. That's gonna be me next, traveling to Germany and traveling to all these places. That's the goals.
Yeah, you could do FIBO next year if they have Bikini.
It's just the timelines of everything. It's
April,
because I have to do Arnold's, I have to do Olympia. Next year I'm not planning on doing Pittsburgh or New York. I was not supposed to do it this year. We already said we're not doing it before I even went to the Arnold's, but I was on stage and I was just so hyped, and I was like, I'm doing Pittsburgh because I love Pittsburgh. But I need a break. So the only shows I will be competing will be either right after Olympia or right after Arnold's, and I'm not going to stay in prep for that because I need to be with my daughter, my family. We got to pay attention to other things in life. Yeah.
You got one daughter?
Yeah.
How old is she?
She's 8.
Oh, is she going to the gym also already?
She goes, but she can't do anything because she's not old enough yet. They won't let her because of,
But she would want to?
Yeah, 100%. We have a couple things at home and she gets into it. Yeah, but she's not super into it because of how serious I'm involved in it. And she kind of is oh, again, we're going to the gym, like that. But most days she's very positive about it and energetic about it. But some days she's over it. So I get it. So I'm pretty sure when I take a break, she'll love it more and she'll enjoy it more.
When you think of the future, do you have a plan on how long you want to still do this and what's going to come after?
I don't know. It just depends on how well my genetics and my youth, stays, because, when you get older, you can't help but age with the skin and how you look, and bikini in the open, you just, you have to have that it factor look to be at the top and stay at the top. So, I mean, Ashley Kay is doing it. She's doing it phenomenally. And so.
How old is she now?
I don't know. I think she's.
Maybe 38?
I believe so.
Yeah. I
would assume so. She's been at the Olympia for, I think this will be her 12th year. Yeah, so something like that, I'm sure. But yeah, so however long I want to, but at the same time, that's what I need to take a break is so I can focus on business. Focus on building something outside of bodybuilding or within bodybuilding so that I don't have to rely on sponsors. Yeah. So
do you have something in mind or?
Maybe a gym, maybe doing our own team. I don't know. I really, really don't know.
Yeah.
It's really just not in the books right now. I'm so focused on Olympia and being the athlete, But he's doing all that.
Yeah. So he's full-time job managing you? Okay.
He does my training, my programming. He handles all my contracts. He handles my YouTube's collaborations. Like he, helps set this stuff up and everything. So he's really that person to make sure I'm protected and make sure I'm putting myself in the right areas, and also, not getting taken advantage of or anything, because I am a woman and I will say yes to anything.
Don't say that publicly. Then I'm going to only approach you.
No, not like that. You know what I mean?
He's not there. Let's go.
But yeah.
That's funny. You say taking advantage, and that made me think of coaching. So there's a lot of, a lot of girls come out and like, oh, this coach, like he was so bad because he ruined my metabolism, or he put me on all this stuff and I didn't even have any experience or such. So what would you recommend girls to look for when choosing a coach?
The number one thing I would say is longevity in those athletes. So coaches can turn an athlete pro or put them on stage and make them win a show and overall or XYZ and make them look good. But what is that athlete doing a year down the road? Not even 4 months. Like, what are they doing the next year? Are they continuing to compete? Are they making improvements? Are they continuing to level up? And are they able to stay in prep and able to continue doing their journey? That is the biggest factor and red flag that you would want to look for in a coach.
So you look at the history of the people that they have coached.
The history,
before.
It has to be, because you want a coach that has active athletes on stage today. If that's what you want to do, you want a coach. Obviously, you don't want to go to a top level coach when you're just starting out, because they're not going to do all hand holding and you're so new. It's better to start with like a lower coach that can spend a lot of time with you, teaching you the basics, teaching you the intro, the macros, all that stuff, learning your body. And then you go to the next level coach, and then you go to the top level coach because you have that experience. So I that's what I did. I looked at, okay, who is producing pros, but not just producing pros, who is having these pros step on stage consecutively and make improvements and continuing to do it year after year. Because in order for you to make the top, you can't compete nonstop for a year and then take like a 6-month off season. Like, that's not how you're going to make the top. You have to keep showing up. You have to keep getting people talking about you, keep being relevant, keep winning shows, keep making improvements. And I feel like that's where it's at. The proof is in the pudding. You just got to find it.
In that regard, it's like way, like, I was say harder, whatever you want to call it. But for bikini girls, like, open guys, they cannot compete for a year and no one's going to be mad or something, or no, but you say like you really have to kind of
Bikini is different though. Men, you can see who's winning clear as day, but like I would say for the men, for the top 3, that's when it becomes difficult, because they're so close and like it's like a hair, but then you can visually see, oh, he's visually bigger or visually leaner or more conditioned or more vascular. But then that's where the judges come in and be like, well, he won in this pose, but he lost in this pose. But then he won in this pose. That's where the points kind of stack up, where bikini is completely different. It is not like that. So that's why you have to keep showing up. And that's why momentum it's just because you can look completely different than somebody, but you don't compare. But the judges have to know how to judge the criteria on your physique, but still compare you next to somebody else.
How much do you think in bikini weighs in like the presentation aspect? Because in bodybuilding, as long as you hit the poses right, your presentation doesn't have to be, it's like the posing round's not judged. No one cares how you walk on stage. No one, like, it doesn't really matter if you smile or not, or if you look like do some weird stuff.
I call bikini it's a beauty pageant. At the end of the day, it's also a beauty pageant on how you show up, how your hair looks. Like, if your hair is stringy and it doesn't look full and healthy, like, that's not going to look good on stage. Versus other girls who do have that polished look. So the bikinis, very much the girls treat it as pageantry, to where we make sure our hair is nice and full from the back and beautiful, and our makeup doesn't look like crazy, you know, like it's very soft, very glam, and we make sure that our movements are very soft but not extra, you know. So I feel like you definitely have to work on that part for bikini. And fit models the same. They're the same. It's like those divisions are just like that. But then again, those divisions are more of the entry divisions, the smallest ones. When you get higher up, it's not as pageanty, but it's still a form of it.
And the walk itself, I would imagine, because when I watch bikini shows, sometimes like, man, her walks looks a little wooden. Like, and even if she had a better physique or slightly better, but the other girl's like super smooth, great presentation, I could feel that it could still go to the girl that has a nicer performance. Or are they like, oh, she still looks worse?
It just depends, because I honestly, every time I post like a posing routine of mine, I always get feedback on my walk to the back that I'm too bouncy or I look rigid, or, you know, I get so much feedback from people, but the judges tell me that it's perfect and I have one of the best walk to the backs on stage because I do it for the glutes. I don't do it to look sexy. I don't do it to look like a good flowy. I do it because the criteria says your glutes need to stay full and round and everything. So I don't care how I look, you know, I have to do what I gotta do. But if you're gonna go up there and just be sexy, that couldn't take you far. About the same time, if you're trying to be sexy and you're not following the criteria as far as keeping the glutes lifted and keeping them round and full and everything, then it will hurt you.
Yeah, I think you should try to be elegant, not sexy.
Yes.
I think if you try to be sexy, also like some judges were really complaining about winking or stuff like that. And I think it depends how you wink. I wink on stage every time I'm on stage, but I do it not like playful and cutesy. The way I do, I go like that, but I don't go and like wink at the judges and run my hands through my hair. You know what I mean? Like it's not like that. It's not slow. It's like, hey, I'm here, and then I go. You know, so it's like that. Yeah, that's the difference.
Yeah, exactly. Not being as sexy.
Yeah. Because also it kind of, you take away from yourself. You kind of like saying, my physique's not enough. I have to be like,
do all this.
I need this extra, and it's also, it seems not professional, because I don't think anyone in bodybuilding in the judges and wants it to be about sexiness, because we're serious physique judging sport. So.
Because we're showing our glutes, and we're in bikini, but it's completely different. Like how we look at it, it's not like we're looking at ass. You know, we're looking at glutes. It's not a butt, it's glutes. So that's how you call it. So it's different.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. What do you we talked about this a little bit, the fit model division now kind of finding their way. Do you think it will have an effect on the bikini division, as they might? So what I've seen so far is that the winners already got slightly more muscular. Mm-hmm. So is that gonna almost soon maybe replace the bikini, the same look, and then the bikini has to bring a different one? What do you think? Like, are they gonna keep them apart?
I don't think so. I think over a good chunk of time, like 10 years, maybe, of course. But when you say that the fit model is coming with more muscle, I would say that they were figuring it out. The girls that were winning in the beginning were girls that were starting out in the fit model, and they had to pick somebody, right? So as they had more athletes coming out, more national shows happening, we're now starting to see what they truly want for fit model for the Olympia. So, yes, the girls are more muscular towards the, but I feel like that's where they're figuring out what they want for the Olympia, because the Olympia is the standard for that division. So, yes, I feel like the pro shows are coming with, the fit model pros are coming with a little bit more density, but it is completely different from bikini still. But I like it because bikini can go its own way and not have to be half and half. Where we were having bikini be dense, but you had to be dense, but you had to come in dense and full and round, where that was very, very hard for a lot of athletes to achieve, especially if you don't have certain kind of genetics to look that full and still have that density, right? So I feel like now bikini is becoming a little bit more harder, a little bit more sharper, but not too much. Still, the density is still there. So it just depends on the top athletes of bikini not getting bigger. And I am one of those athletes, so I am not looking to get any bigger than what I am. So I feel like it's just about the top athletes not pushing the division as a whole.
Yeah. What do you feel like? Do you talk within the bikini girls? Like, you think there's like, what do they think about like them? Like, what's the vibe? It's like, is half of them hating fit model, or are they like, oh, no problem? What's the vibe?
Oh, I get mixed. I feel like everybody loves bikini where it's at now.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard anyone say that it's not. I've heard a lot of people loving fit model because now they feel like they fit in a division where they were trying so hard for bikini, but their genetics or their body or their timeline doesn't work out for it, or where they started their journey. So it gives a lot of people a lot of, that entry side to start. But also, I feel like some girls don't like it because they love the look of bikini, but they're not there yet. And they don't want to go to fit model because fit model has a lot less muscle than bikini, or density or conditioning in terms. And then so they will be like, I hate the way, I don't like fit model or something. You'll get those girls. But for the most part, everyone is loving this whole new division that's coming out.
My problem with fit model is, and maybe I'm probably not going to make friends, but I feel like if you go to a bodybuilding show, you want to, I have the sense of I'm going somewhere
Mm-hmm.
where I see exceptional bodies.
Yeah.
And when I see fit model girls, oftentimes I'm like, I can see that anytime.
Yeah.
So I'm like, bodybuilding, for me, if you are in a bodybuilding show, not a separate show, then it's also about time and patience and long years of hard work to achieve that. And then there's a division that is so low entry level that literally, like, some girls I might, like, even just from riding their bikes look good enough, what I mean?
Yeah, I think right now we got so much to the extreme with bodybuilding, because if you think about it, back when bodybuilding, back then, it was like it's like how fit model is now. Back then with bikini or figure was like fit model or bikini, So I feel like that it's always going to start like that, and that's where they want to start it, and then because it's always gonna, like, look at how everything's evolved. So
they just pull it back to bikini original.
Yeah, they might. I mean, who knows what they're gonna do in the future? But I just feel like things are going to evolve depending on, because the athletes want to get better. The top athletes are always wanting to get better, and that's why everyone is getting bigger.
They can also move up.
Well, I can't move up to wellness. That's too much of a different division, because it's the size of bikini wellness is completely different. So I would need another 5 years.
That's right. That is a big jump.
Yeah, and then figure would be the closest to bikini, I would say. But then it's just, I'm not wanting to do the kind of drugs that they do and stuff like that. So it's just completely different when you don't really have a lot of options. But then they might make an in-between division. I don't know.
But I think it's just that it's going to be too many divisions.
Yeah,
and it's
I
like,
agree.
Okay, like if you want to move up, you just have to wait a few years.
But that's why the Arnold's is just more, is just that has that 10 athlete where you have to be invited. That one's very, very prestigious to where you have to be invited, and you, even if you are a top athlete, you can definitely not get invited. It just depends if you get picked. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But I'm just also thinking that when you look at amateur shows, and then they have novice classes and that too. Like, if you were a judge, you'd be like, do you still want to do that?
Yeah.
You also kind of could, like, scare off people that want to become judges. Because, like, I wanted to actually become a judge, but when I was in an amateur show and I saw what they have to go through, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
It's getting a little too much. But that's my opinion. Comment your opinion on that. That would be interesting. And when you look back now, as if it was the end of your career, but is there things that you did that you regret or regret not doing?
Oh man, that's a hard one. Regret what I've already done, or regret something I haven't done. I have pushed myself so freaking hard to where I've done all that I can. I truly feel like I would say the biggest thing would be to not to enjoy and celebrate my wins. That one actually came very easy now. I don't celebrate my wins. I don't enjoy them. I don't celebrate them. I go on to the next thing and I just move on with life. And that's something that I don't like that I do, because it's gone and it's over, and I'm just, I don't like it. So I definitely, this year I have been taking time to celebrate my wins, and I did for the Arnolds, and it was great, and I continued. And so that's why I'm feeling so good for the Olympia, because my mindset is in such a good place. Like, this is the best I felt post show, the best, like, I don't even know. I just know I'm gonna kill it.
Yeah, that's good. I tell a lot of people, and then they start realizing that is oftentimes when people aren't prepped, they feel their worst and they're like miserable. And I'm like, these are the exact moments that you train for to look like what you look like right now, and you're not enjoying at all what you look like right now. It's like, you're at your best. Like, you should go to the gym and be like hyped up, because man, like, it's finally paying off and everything.
Yeah.
And people are just like, ooh.
Yeah.
And some people, when I tell them that, they're like, wait a minute. And it just switches. And the same with the wins. You're like, you think you're never going to get somewhere, then you have it, and then you're like, okay, next. Instead of like being like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, what actually happened?
Yeah, I actually do have another regret.
Yeah.
I do regret not documenting my entire journey on YouTube, because I've done some crazy things in the division. I went from turning pro in December 2020 to winning shows, and then being at the top, within 4.5 years. So, and I've done so much in that timeline. So I wish I would have done the YouTube, but I told myself, no social media, no YouTube, focus on this. And this is what you're going to do. And then you can deal with that later. But
I have to get to know someone at YouTube, because when was it? 2 years ago or so, I lost my personal bodybuilding channel. And that was like 12 years of stuff.
No.
And it's all gone.
Is that on Instagram or YouTube? It's YouTube.
And that's the real stuff. And Instagram, damn. I mean, Instagram started with pictures. I remember my first Instagram picture, 2013. I in the gym with a buddy of mine, and I think my first Instagram picture, I was in Germany in a store, and I think there was some cool Lego. And that was my first Instagram.
Really?
Yeah, I just heard about this app, Instagram, so I downloaded it and posted that first.
Oh
but gosh. Yeah, that's also gone.
Yeah.
Man, it's like,
dang.
Yeah, they take it all from you. But you are like very clean content probably, so that's good. Yeah. So when did you start your YouTube though?
We just do show vlogs. I don't really do YouTube, vlogging stuff, day in life stuff. I don't really think I've done that. He holds the camera and he does his best to put it in my face, but a lot of times I'm like, no, I want to focus on my training. I want to focus and do what I got to do, and I don't want to talk to a camera. I don't want a camera in my face.
Get the Ray-Ban glasses.
That's what he just got. He just got them. But that's one thing that I wish I would have not done to myself. I wish I would have documented everything and shown everything and just been real and raw with everything. But I did laser focus. Maybe that's what I needed to get to where I'm at, because I was so focused. No one could take me out of it. No one. And so I wish I would have done it, but I'm doing it now. But I'm still not doing vlogs. I only do show days. So.
Maybe you can think of a way to teach that focus. Maybe if you find your channels and how you do it, then that would be very helpful.
Yeah.
Do you feel like when you coach people that with a lot of people you have to help them mentally a lot?
I would say yes and no. I'm at a point to where I do pick who I want to coach, because I do keep only 15 to 20 athletes. I don't coach anything more. And I used to coach 30 athletes, but since last year I noticed my preps were suffering, so I did shorten my roster. So I do only have 15, so I have a couple more spots left. But oh my gosh, what was the question?
If you the mental aspect.
The mental.
Yeah.
So I usually pick athletes that I feel like I'm most connected to, that I feel like I can be like comfortable talking to them with, calling them, not like, throughout the days, and kind of like a friend in a way. And when I get someone like that, it's super easy to work with, because the communication, the vibes, everything is there, and it's very easy. So I haven't feel like I've been super struggling yet. But because I don't just take athletes. I take athletes when we connect well, when they know what they're doing. And
so you go on a consultation call first?
Yes, yeah, always, yeah.
I start doing that now. I never did that. People just wanted to get coaching. I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I call them when they're paid.
Yeah.
But now you guys can book before.
Yeah.
But if you don't have money, hey, don't call me. No, because honestly, this didn't sound nice, but there's people that just get on a call with you to get the most information out of you they can, and they do that with 100 coaches, and they don't pay anyone. They don't even come to get on your coaching.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. So you have never had that?
No, but also I feel like I'm on stage, and I don't work with a lot of top athletes or seasoned athletes, just because I feel like people know I'm on stage and I'm not a coach, coach. But when I retire, that's when I will be a full-time coach. But right now, I can only give my time to a very limited amount of athletes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very responsible, because there's people that don't have the time. They take on 300 people at a time. And I'm like, good God. Like I told you, the affiliate managers that have to manage 300 people, I wouldn't know who you are. Even if if this is who's Dave Smith?
That is pretty intense.
What was your face again? What was your program again? I couldn't remember it. I also am pretty old school. I don't use an app. Do you use an app or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trainerize.
Maybe I should use an app. I don't know. But also, oftentimes it's when I've started using apps, there were so many exercises that weren't really in there, or there was some videos with that, and they weren't really what I wanted them to do.
I upload my own videos. In this app, you can record your own videos and upload it for the athlete, and it can be your videos.
Okay,
you can pull them from YouTube too. You can search them and.
Yeah, that's oftentimes what I do. I'm just typing back workout, and then they can look at my YouTube and that exercise this way, because there's how I explain it. You don't even need me as a coach if it's about training. Just watch my training videos. So I'm very old school with that. So I wouldn't be able to I'm not that crazy organized with an app.
Yeah. Everybody works.
But if there's a good app, I'm totally considering it. If it makes it easier for everyone, that's cool. But there's also people that are like, wait, you work with an app? So then they think it's cookie cutter. Mm-hmm. That's also happening. Yeah. So it kind of depends. Some old school guys will probably nah. An app? Okay, I'm gone.
A decade of coaching. What I learned is you have to be able to ask the right questions and then know the proper answers. That's what I do best. If you want to find out more, get one of my 2 books I wrote on training, endocrinology, peptides. Sign up if you want to join my coaching. Links in the description below, or just message me on Instagram.
Go ahead, also check out my 3rd book, Science of Aging. It is about understanding and really implying what you can do in order to age better and improve your health span. Check it in the link tree now.
This is my very own clothing line. Faith isn't meant to stay hidden. These shirts put your inside on the outside. One bold Bible verse, epic aligning images for street or gym. Every shirt sold sends $5 directly to Christian charities, building wells, feeding families, and sharing the gospel. This isn't just clothing. It's a walking testimony. Wear the word, show the world what you believe. Order now.
I mean, I don't know how men work, but I have heard that women are much easier to prep and work with than men. I think men are divas in prep.
I think women are also more loyal, and maybe it's a lower testosterone too, because I think women overall, of course, women are different. Some women are politicians and they want power over everything, but usually women are more the caring type and not the power type. But also that women are not they don't want to fight, or they don't want to tell someone to cancel. So I think they stay more loyal. Also, kind of like because it's uncomfortable to have that talk and say like, I want to leave or something. So I've seen but that's also to their detriment because I've talked to so many women and they're like, I'm with this coach and it's so bad. And it's like a year later, still with the coach, still so bad. Yeah. I'm like, good God.
Yeah, sometimes that happens where they don't catch the red flags or, or they just don't know that there's a better way to prep or there's a healthier way to prep. And it is very sad whenever you see those athletes and then their hormones are in the ground and then they're not feeling good and everything. But at the same time, it feels so good to be a good coach to help those athletes and be able to help them and be able to pull them out of that. Yeah.
What so when you have your girls, because I guess most of them at least won't be on HRT or so. I mean, some are because they're older maybe, but so what do you look in blood work? Because I think you still do a lot of blood work yourself too, right? So, but for women, it's also hormonal health and being such low body fat. That's kind of more the thing. So even if you're natural and you're a woman, you shouldn't think, I'm natural, so I don't need blood work. Yeah. So what is important there? What are you looking for, and what do you recommend the girls out there? And
Optimal. So I'm looking at the blood markers of everything. I do full panels. Full panel. It's like I think it's 25 tests to be done, but I do the full panel to start, and I just make sure everything is in a high, good, optimal range. Like if vitamin D is high, is mid-range, but it's in range. A lot of doctors or people will be like, you're good, you're in range, everything looks good. But no, I want that to be optimal, because whenever you start a prep, if all your levels are optimal, because when you start prep, they're gonna slowly trickle down as you get to the tail end of your prep. So you want to feel good and you want your hormones to be supported. So it's just like starting a prep with no cardio, lower body fat, high macros, and optimal blood markers, and then you start that prep and things should be working for you, not easily, but things will be working for you with whatever manipulations you do. So I just make sure everything is optimal in all areas, and test for everything, because there's no point in getting, a low panel test, low panel blood work. You want to see everything, because everything works like DHEA converts it and helps bring up testosterone levels, So it's like some work together, so you need everything. So
that's a great point actually, because when you go into prep, usually like everything's going to drop a bit. Your testosterone's going to drop a bit, like maybe other markers too, like hormonal ones, your thyroid a little bit. Yeah. And so if you're already on like the lower end of the spectrum, but you're in range, it's like it's not going to go up. So
and then you also need to know like what is in low range, so you can freaking make sure you're supporting those levels while you're in prep, and then you retest just that. If something's in low range, I'll put an athlete, like say their cholesterol, their good cholesterol is low and their bad cholesterol is high. I'll double their fish oil and then have them on that for 4 to 6 weeks. But while they're in prep, because we have the prep, then I'll have them retest, and maybe we have to add in something additional just to help it continue going up. So like it's needed, but not full panels in prep.
But for such people, you couldn't do like some sprint in the prep, where you're like, okay, now we're going to go extra hard and pull it off in a super short amount of time. If someone's like starting lower, like you have to diet them down slower. You know what I mean?
It just depends on where they're at. It depends on where their metabolism at. But like, I really don't like to get athletes coming from another coach and putting them straight on a prep to go to show, because I gotta make sure we rebuild the metabolism. We make sure that you're eating enough food, but not gaining a bunch of weight. Like, everything's working in a good place. But, you occasionally get the athletes that come from another coach, and then they're on 2 hours of cardio and low food, and they still want to go do a show that's 4 weeks out. And you're like, okay, I have to do it because you want to do it. And then, so you'll get occasionally that, and then you just do your best. But usually whenever I get those athletes, I'll put them on way less cardio, way more food, and they still drop. They drop like crazy. So it just depends.
Yeah, like stress is a big factor, and stress in a physical sense as well, not just mentally. Yeah. Yeah. If you have low stress, you will just be less inflamed. Your weight more likely to drop weight. So definitely very important. And with the men, it's tough because so many guys won't, like, maybe also because they're cheap, I don't know, but they just want to coach for prep because they think they know everything, in off season they know everything, they know how to do it.
I feel like guys, because for guys it is different, because girls, we can't grow our waist. We can, like, I'm sure some divisions you guys can grow your waist, like, I don't know about classic or women's physique.
Better not.
Yeah, we can't grow our waist and grow certain body parts, but also we have to hold certain body parts where you guys just get big everywhere, right? Like your legs, your upper body and everything, but you do have to keep the waist smaller. So that could be a challenge, but from our point, it's a lot different where you need to have structure, because if not, something else, your quad will grow way too big and the girl will have no glutes and big quads. For them, she's in bikini, and that's the opposite. So like it is very, very different. I feel like that's why women are more into it, and men are just like, just eat whatever the hell I want and just go in the gym and just hammer it out. Yeah. But so I don't really know.
So you're really big on exercise selection then?
Of what?
On exercise selection.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I were doing like dumbbell work, I would like to do a lateral raise. I wouldn't do it seated on the bench. I wouldn't do it standing. I would do it lying on a bench and with cables and doing this. Because it takes the core out of it, the lats, everything out of it, and only isolates the delt. So then certain movements I will compensate just so that I know the core is not.
So you do the core work like separate almost.
Yeah, because I don't train my core to get ab detail.
Yeah.
I train it for strength and to control my core during posing and keep it tight with some minimal detail, but we don't want edged abs. Yeah. So I just train it differently, but not with weight.
Yeah. For men, it's mostly, to be honest, it's mostly a drug thing and a little bit digestion. I don't think the digestion is it most of the times, because if you just look at people 40 years ago, no one had it. Did they all have way better digestion?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
You know, it's so certain drugs were introduced and all of a sudden the bellies came. It wasn't like the food was changing really. You know, like chicken and rice was chicken and rice, and some people get a belly on that and some people don't. But back then no one had a belly. Yeah. So everyone must have had great digestion? I don't think so. You know what I mean? So it's definitely something else. Yeah. I mean, you can't grow your midsection if you like. When you look at weightlifters, you see it a lot. They get really wide because they just do so much, core exercises. And then the breathing is important. If they breathe out
the breathing is so important. Yeah.
So that's obviously. But I'm also in terms of progress, because when you're dieting, you're usually not putting on muscle. Yeah. So, but if you need certain areas to improve, also as a bikini, like your glutes and your quads and not your hamstrings, for example, then you will need to be on point in the off season, and you will need to train right and eat right. Yeah. And that also goes for classic or open bodybuilding. But people think they know how to do it. Yeah. And then they never, actually get better. And they hire a coach and they're like, why do I look the same?
That was me before I got Christian as my trainer. I thought I knew, honestly, I would fight. I had Drew Brandon as a trainer and I would fight with him. I'd be like, no, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, or this. And even Jamie, like, cause I know my body really, really well. Mm-hmm. And I do have like a front seat in my prep and I do everything with my coach. But when it comes to my training, I just know what I'm doing. But we recently introduced like growing my quads, the lower portion of my quads, and I've never really focused on that ever in my career. But so my husband jumped in. I was like, I need help. I need you to help me. And he jumped in. But, he's the one where I was fighting with him. And he's like, no, stop. Like, he put me in my place. And he's like, you're doing what I'm telling you to do. If you want me to help you, you're going to do this. Yeah. And then he did that. And then I went to the session. And I was like, oh, my gosh, he's so smart. He's great. And then we did the next one. I was like, okay. Then I started shutting up. And now he takes care of everything. And he did my whole thing for the Arnolds. The best I've ever looked with my upper glutes, my quads, the balance. Like Jamie was so impressed.
What's the email? Where do you have to get the program?
Yeah. He doesn't do anyone else's besides his own athletes. But yeah, he cares so much about my success and how well I do that. Whenever I have a new movement I need to do, he'll pick a machine and he will research everything, and he'll watch the patterns, and he will be on his phone and then see and ask it questions. Like he's
put
so
it in AI
involved.
and then scan it.
Yeah, he's so good.
That's going to be crazy. I think, I see that in the future coming. The machines will have cameras and they can analyze your movements. Oh, I bet. If no one ever thought of that,
that's going to be expensive, though.
Yeah.
That's going to be crazy.
Who knows? With phones, like technology evolves so fast, maybe not even. Who knows?
That's crazy.
Yeah, if someone has a good
what muscles are firing.
Yeah, just if
you might have to be
does the movement make sense? They you should, I don't know, put your knees more forward if you want your quads more involved or so. The machine it will tell you or something.
Yeah, based off. Yeah. But then everybody has different bone structures. So
it will be able to analyze your scans you. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I bet that's definitely possible.
I wonder if you have to go into something and have it scan your body beforehand, and then you can work on the machines or something.
There's already machines that scan you, and then they put the setting up for your body.
Wow,
they're called e-something, e-machines or e-works or actually in my hometown in Germany that has no good gyms, but they have those machines. I haven't tried them, but and they were all old people on it. But that's great for people that don't know stuff.
Yeah.
Because, you see them training and you're like...
Yeah, what are you doing?
I see it so much.
That was me, though.
But you know what I wonder if you also see that. And that's not a knock on everyone, but I just see a tendency where the older the people, and I'm talking about men, the older the guys in the gym are, the worse they train.
Really?
When it comes to, just form. When they think they're training lats and they're actually training rear delts.
Yeah.
And neck.
Oh,
when they put the lat pull down is to their chin and they're laid back and it's basically almost like a T-bar row.
Yeah.
And up and they're my lats, and they're just swinging the whole way down.
Yeah.
And I see it all the time, and it's always older people and I know these guys are in the gym for 40 years, and I'm like, good guys, you should, I don't know. It's interesting, and I wonder if you see that, do you see that too, or am I exclusive?
I am the worst in the gym. My sponsor and good friend Jacob, he owns Global, and one time I was in torture, and I swear I tell him, I'm like, this is not true, Jacob. You're making things up, but. He said that he was in the gym and he was like, hi, waving at me and looking at me and smiling. And I was looking straight and I walked right past him. I didn't see him and everything. But he knows that that's me. I don't see anybody in the gym. I don't notice anyone is there. He will know XYZ girl. Oh, that girl goes to our gym. We're at Walmart or something. I'm like, how do you even know that? No.
You're looking at other girls or what?
That's
funny.
No, but seriously, I don't pay attention to anybody else, and I also realize that I think I have a what's it called, the resting bitch face, when I'm in the gym, because that's for me the gym. I treat the gym different than most people. So people go in because their hobby or fun time or content. That's why I don't do YouTube and gyms or things like that, because I am so focused in what I do. It's work for me. It's business. So I treat it very differently, but I am trying to change that because people get scared to come up to me. So I'm definitely changing that. I'm smiling more, looking at people more.
Yeah, I'm smiling more too, thanks to Thomas Connolly. He made my fake teeth.
Oh yeah.
Because I had a big gap in between my teeth, and I didn't even realize that I would always talk and try to hide them. It was so in me.
Yeah,
and when I got the teeth done, I don't know, 2.5 years ago or so, I'm it changed everything. I think also people thought I was way nicer then because I didn't have that, mad face when I was walking around. So that was helping a lot. But for me, sometimes I'm when I look at people and I get almost angry, I'm like, God, give me more grace. Have me have more grace. Why do I even think about it? I try to really not, but I just can't help it. It's so bad. I wish I couldn't care. I wouldn't,
Yeah, that's true. I never get that I look angry, but they always tell me you look so focused that I don't want to interrupt you. And so that's where I'm okay, maybe I just need to look up a little bit and smile and
But you think you're able to refocus? You're not getting out of a kind of a what's it called?
like that mental, like just locked in, like being locked in. No, but if people talk to me, then yeah, I'll lose that focus for sure.
Oh,
but I think it's just probably about my ADD that whenever I really care about something, I want to make sure I do it the best ability and I'm paying attention. I'm very present for it because so many things in my life gets missed, it gets messed up, and like having ADD, I would say like is kind of like a destroyer with things, in my life. And so things I really care about, I try to really focus on.
What are things that you struggle with that someone who doesn't have that would like not understand or not struggle with?
My communication. It's hard for me to explain this, but I just don't know how to communicate and say what I mean and say what I feel. Sometimes it can come off the wrong way, or I don't give enough context and people take it and think other things with it. I've found myself in situations with friends and things where I may have said something and then they felt like, bad about it. And I'm like, oh my God, I made them feel bad, So there's been situations where where I don't trust myself. Yeah. I got into a point where I don't trust my communication, and that's the main reason why I don't do YouTube too. That's the main reason why I don't do certain things. And like podcasts, I used to be so scared, but I've had so much experience now, and I know how to handle myself and talk about things. But communication is my biggest struggle, and how I call it scattered brained. When I write a message, even Jamie and Drew, they're like, we have to dissect this message because it's all over the place. And then, so recently I've been using ChatGPT and saying, reword this. And then I see how they word it. And I'm like, okay, this is completely different than how I think and how someone normal would say things. So that's just where I'm really struggling, but I've been more open about it and I've been giving myself more grace about it. And I just started a new medication, Vyvanse. So
my wife's taking that.
Oh yeah, it's helped so much.
Yeah, that's for her. That's I think the one that helps her the most. She could like not take other ones, but I think that's like the most important one. And when she ran out a while ago, I think she changed a doctor or something, and then she's like, "Oh my God, I need to get it." So, and not like in a way that she's addicted. Like she would have survived, but it really helps. So
yeah. No, whenever I started taking it, I was doing more things around the house. I would pass by things and I would see that for weeks and I wouldn't touch it. I knew I had to do it and I would procrastinate and everything just felt so heavy. Like every task felt so heavy. And like I see athletes that are coaching 40, 60, 80 athletes and still on the Olympia stage who are doing content, filming their own YouTubes, still on the Olympia stage, doing exactly what I do. But my brain can't handle what they handle because of what I have going on. So the Vyvanse has really helped in me creating a better routine for myself. I'm creating more content, I'm doing so much more, but it's still it's a building effect. It doesn't just turn on my brain and I automatically can know how to think. I have to practice and I have to learn how to communicate better, but it's easier. Is that
also with texting that you just don't text back, but you don't even mean it?
I don't text back, but I also hold myself from having friends. I would not let myself to have friends because I couldn't communicate and talk to people. But now I do because I've really learned that I don't like that about myself. And this was like a year and a half ago where I've really been trying to focus on that. And I've opened up to a lot of people that I felt like I was closed off to. Like a lot of my Fit Body Fusion team, I wouldn't really mingle with a lot of people, and I just felt like maybe they don't like me or something because I'm not being more open. And at our Fit Body Fusion team gathering thing, I opened up to everybody and I cried, and I was just like, I feel like I can't, and I told them I wanted to change that about myself, and I did with them, and I feel more connected to the team, but I'm still working through those things.
I asked that because my wife has that sometimes. Like with texting back and she doesn't even mean it, and it's just overwhelming sometimes.
It is very overwhelming.
So if you text her maybe on Instagram, or are you answering sometimes on Instagram?
No,
that's you.
Rarely. Like I'll look through her DMs and see if she's missing any partners or sponsor requests and stuff like that.
He'll respond to those, but he won't respond to my friends. No.
If the microphones didn't pick it up, he said he just looks through it if she misses sometimes. some sponsor or important messages, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's always sponsors or like new opportunities or someone wanting to send me Celsius or, you know, something like
wants
that.
to buy the underwear, like you were obviously going to sell it.
Yeah.
There's crazy things sometimes.
There is.
People like I would have sold underwear if I had some of the offers I hear about. I'm like, you can get my underwear. I get some new.
I don't know where these people find these offers at, but they're on something weird if they get those offers.
It's interesting. I think 5 years ago or so it kind of stopped, but until like 21 or so, I would get that occasionally. People wanted to buy my underwear.
No,
and
it's
like,
funny.
It's like crazy, you know.
But guys follow you because guys want to look like you. I don't have, like, my following is, I think it's 78% woman. If I look at my statistics, it's 78% woman because the type, I don't like to look sexy online. Like, yeah, with my muscle and whatnot, like, you know, but I won't post lingerie or anything like that just because that's not my vibe.
That might even, I would think that might make guys want more.
No, with all these girls posting all their butts and then being so sexual online, they got enough to see. They don't really care about me.
but I think that's great. That it also just help you. And besides, I don't like it. I wouldn't want my wife to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone can decide for themselves, but it just gives you more value if you stand for who you are and not what you look like.
Yeah.
You know, if someone will remember you for what you look like, but no one knows or cared about who you are, I think you should rather, and it gives you also way more self-value if people like you for who you are. Because what if you crash your car tomorrow and your face looks different? You're like, no one cares anymore. So that's.
I did read a text. I read it was like someone put on their story where they say, be humble and kind because you are one phone call, one text, or one incident, one thing away from your life completely changing, and you, like, you know, and kind of like what you're mentioning. It was kind of like, damn, you're right. We're all, you know, never knew what's gonna happen.
And on a positive side,
I know some positivity there.
Some millionaires always and like very successful people always say that. They always say you're one contact away from becoming a millionaire.
That's a great one. Yeah.
But wow. it's true. Like a lot of times it's not you that kind of makes you there, but maybe someone who sees your
potential or sees more in you.
Yeah. So if let's say, like, I don't have a friend, I actually would like to do a longevity company with him, like supplements. And today I wrote a book on aging, so the science of aging, like, and I started it in Anaheim. There was a show in Anaheim, you know, like muscle contest.
Yeah. In
the hotel room, I'm like, I'm just gonna start to write a book, and I just found it because I never like published it. I published 2 other books, but never published that. I just found it in Science of Aging. And, you know, like, if I make a company with him, who knows where it goes, you know?
Yeah.
So, and that's, like, my potential, but not, you know, I'm not going to make myself that. I mean, nowadays you can get big loans, but I'm too much of and not risk, I don't want to risk it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I mean, I think you should risk it if that's something like what's your absolute passion.
Yeah.
And you know you're going to work for it 100,000%.
But if for the side,
if it's not your main goal, don't risk it.
Yeah.
If it's your one thing, like, so the same, like if you
just like competing.
Yeah. Or if you open a gym.
Yeah.
If you're super famous, you can probably open a gym because, like, people are going to come anyways. You
already have the audience.
But if not, like, you will have to know you're going to sleep in that gym for a good amount of time. Like, this is all you do.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the same. I'm looking forward to seeing what you're going to do. And if you're going to win this year, I hope so. I'll be there. I just asked for a media pass. So I'll hopefully interview you again for you won.
If you come to the athlete meet and greet, that's where I usually get a lot of interviews. Yeah. The pre-Olympia interview and then the after, of course.
Yeah. Backstage, I'll be like, how was it? How do you feel? It's like
all that stuff. Yeah. Oh my god, I can't wait. I feel like it's been so long since I've been off stage. I want to be back. I love the stage.
So long? That was nothing.
I know it's nothing, but trust me, that's why I said my ADD, my time, it's all warped. Time is warped for me. Like my time's all off. So whenever a week and a half passes, it does feel like it's almost a month. I'm not joking.
But isn't it nice?
It is nice. It definitely is nice, but it feels like I'm so far away from.
You feel like procrastinating.
Yeah, it's good, but it's not good in some ways, depending on how I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. That can make You can think like, oh, I'm not progressing, and actually you are, but just time just doesn't pass.
Yeah.
I feel like the more that happens to me in a year, the slower it kind of feels it's passing.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, other people are the opposite, but I'm like looking back, and then I'm like, this was 1 year ago. It feels like 10 years ago because so much happened in between. But if every day's the same, you're like, oh, that feels like yesterday.
Yeah, my brain forgets things so easily. Like it forgets a lot of things. And I feel like that's like when I'm on stage, I did it in Miami, and then 2 weeks passed, and I felt like it was like 6 weeks, and I'm just, I don't know why.
Some people know so well which year what happened.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe like the last 3-4 years, but before I'm like, no idea. 2009. Yeah. No idea.
No idea.
2011? No idea. Yeah. I mean, you can kind of be like, okay, I should have been in school or something. But
like that.
But I know, like, my wife also, she forgets stuff that just happened sometimes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Rather that stuff. Not the stuff that was a year ago, but that just happened. Like, what did we just talk about? And then, like, if you take notes, it's like, okay. So when we go to church, we always take notes, and we talk about it at night. But I could talk about it without my notes most of the time.
Yeah.
But also, I can visualize my notes a lot of times.
Really?
So it's kind of like in my head.
I can't do that. Like, I can learn something, and then I will completely forget all about everything I learned. But I have to rescan it. I can't. My brain doesn't work like that.
If you think of something that you learned, what pops up in your mind?
Nothing. That's what my husband...
But if you learned it, like something has to pop up, right?
Nothing. Like, it just, whatever I learn pops up. But like, my husband tells me, like, Aimee, you need to learn how to think before you speak. And then I'm like, okay.
That's what my dad always said to my mom.
He's like, do it right now. He's like, think right now, and then speak. And then I was like, think and then speak. He's like, okay, what are you thinking about? I'm like, think and speak. That's all I can think about is think and speak. And what I'm saying. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't understand how to think. I don't know. It's hard to explain because I don't even know. Like, it's just weird. But he's like, you have to think about what you're saying. But like, I don't know how to think about it in the way that a lot of people think. Yeah. Like, he will think about like scenarios in his head and like things, and like, if I do this, this could happen. If I do this, this could happen. I really struggle doing that.
But can you visualize being on stage at the Olympia?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I visualized me winning the Olympia the first year I turned pro. Like, I knew I was going to be at the Olympia. But because I know my body so well, I just know that as long as I stay focused, it will happen, because my body, your body does what it does. You can't really avoid what it does if you give it what it needs. Maybe
you can try to do that next time you take notes. Try to afterwards visualize the page you wrote it on. Maybe you can try to, it helps me because it is not a computer, and it has a different structure, and therefore it's kind of more unique, and that stays better in my brain. Yeah. If I would take the notes on here and I would try to visualize a screen, this is so generic. Everything is so the same, so perfect. I wouldn't be able to do it like that. Yeah,
I never tried doing a Pictionary type of thing, like where I look at the page and close my eyes and then try to see it. But at the same time, it would feel like just thinking about it feels overwhelming, just because there's so much to like look at and memorize. You know what I mean? Or just like I don't know. That seems.
Well, start slow, like with maybe just a few notes. Yeah. You just like just keywords. Next sermon, you just take 5 keywords on one page. Then next page, you can write whatever.
Yeah, but watching movies, not easy. I can recite a whole movie.
Oh.
If I watch like The Chosen, and that's how I learned a lot about Jesus in this time.
It's probably because there's been so many ways of stimulation that you can, you just have to visualize it. You have the person, the face, you have the sound, like
yeah,
it's
there's
all
different.
aspects.
You kind of have to know where you're best at. Yeah, that's true.
What is with audio?
I do
podcasts?
Podcasts. I listen. I like podcasts, but I don't listen to podcasts on the podcast app. I do YouTube. I have to watch. Like I said, I have to watch us in studio.
Yeah, interesting. You can also comment what type of form of podcast you like most, because you can also find me on Spotify. I barely ever go there, but everything's uploaded there. So also, if you want to watch older episodes, or if you're subscribed at Spotify, and then you won't also have any ads and stuff. And that was good. Thank you so much, and I hope you're gonna win. I hope I'm gonna interview there.
Thank you.
Where do you actually train mostly? I never see you in the gym.
Strength culture and new tech.
That's a new tech, okay.
But
I always
rarely
train
at
in the
new
morning.
tech.
And
I'm rarely at new tech, just because it's like 40 minutes from my house.
It's so funny. I never went to strength culture at all.
It's a great gym,
Yeah,
great environment. The environment's what I like about it most. Yeah.
Yeah, I should go. It's not too far, actually.
No, it's actually not. No.
All right. I might see you at strength culture too.
Yeah.
You guys, you can follow Aimee. Links are in the description. And Aimee Delgado everywhere. I think if you put that in, you should find her anyways. And ask any questions you like and subscribe. Also follow her YouTube channel, also be in the description. And we can actually collaborate probably.
Yeah.
So that's going to work. That's a new thing on YouTube. That's pretty cool.
I know, it's really cool.
That's really good. I
Thank
just
you
wanted
for
to say
having me.
thank God, but that wasn't God that did that. Maybe inspired the YouTube guys. All right, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Major announcement, guys. The Peptide Encyclopedia is now to download. Check out the link in the description or the pinned comment, or go on my link tree. And the Anabolic Handbook is also available. All the compounds from A to Z broken down into benefits, downsides, administration, and so on. One favor I got to ask you, though, if you could subscribe to this channel to help it grow, to get the highest caliber people on this podcast, that would be amazing. Thank you so much. Now on with the episode.
A decade of coaching. What I learned is you have to be able to ask the right questions and then know the proper answers. That's what I do best. If you want to find out more, get one of my 2 books I wrote on training, endocrinology, peptides. Sign up if you want to join my coaching. Links in the description below, or just message me on Instagram.